got a great variety of seafood restaurants here and other fun things to do. I'll be pointing out some of those as we go by. This yellow and green building is home to Elliot's Oyster House. And the red pier here, Miners Landing, is home to the Crab Pot and Fisherman's. Also an antique carousel and of course Seattle's Great Wheel. You'll have a wheel good time up there. I was just breaking that one in. And no, it's a non-Ferris wheel, which means it has enclosed gondolas instead of the open-air ones that you're used to in a typical amusement park ride. So it's extra deluxe. Now the name Miners Landing comes from the next pier down, which is missing. It was demolished to make way for the beautiful waterfront park that you can enjoy there today. But this is the location of the old Schwabacher Wharf, which became famous July 17th of 1897 when the steamship Portland came in, when they rumored a ton of gold on board and 67 very wealthy men. Now, this got people pretty excited, and in fact it kicked off the Yukon Gold Rush. Even though things didn't pan out quite so well for the miners, those who stayed in Seattle and sold provisions to the prospectors and called this the gateway to Alaska, were the ones who really struck it rich. And it really helped to put Seattle on the map as well. Now for a wealth of knowledge, looking up further than the Seattle Aquarium here at Pier 59. A great education and research-based facility, which that maybe doesn't sound so exciting, but how about baby sea otters and sea urchins that will help you, and anemone wars happening right in front of you. They have some of the best touch tanks that I have seen anywhere in the world, and I highly recommend checking them out. Really good facility there. Now across from the Seattle Aquarium is a staircase that will take you to the Pike Place Market. That's the long yellow and green roofed building up on the hillside there. Now, the Pike Place Market opened back in 1907. It was Seattle's way of saying, hey, we want to meet the producers and buy directly from the people who are growing our produce. This will be a better deal for them, a better deal for us, and everyone was happy. And it was a huge success, such a huge success that over 100 years later, the market is stronger than ever. And it's diversified a lot. So in addition to those onions were big sellers when they first opened, you get beautiful bouquets of fresh cut flowers, all sorts of arts and crafts, kitchen supplies, jewelry, you name it, you can probably find it with a creative twist there at the market. And you're buying directly from the people who either made it or some of their close friends and family. It's a very tight-knit community there. And if you're lucky, sometimes you'll even get to see some flying fish, even some fish saucers. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. And they sell 100% sustainably caught seafood, so just another reason to stop by. If you want to cook some fish for yourself, that's where I recommend getting it. And that's also where you should go if you want to see products as a pretty big part of our history here. They opened in Waterfront. We've got a very powerful building that sits next to our first cruise ship terminal. Yeah, we have a lot in the last tour as well. So just beyond it, we have a gray building with a giant red letter E on top. Now, the Hotel Edgewater opened in 1962, and it was Seattle's way of saying, bringing people to this pier, hoping to house the hordes of people who were coming for, anyone know? The World's Fair, yes. And unfortunately, they opened their doors 2 weeks after the 6-month fair had ended. So they weren't very clever with that. But then they came up with a very clever advertising campaign, which was, hey, how about you come to the Hotel Edgewater where you can fish from your bedroom windows? Which was a really cool idea. Unfortunately, people started fishing from their bedroom windows, and the fish here can be quite large. And I'm not even talking about the 12 to 14 foot 6-gilled sharks that live in this area, could be swimming under this boat at this very moment. But if you get an angry salmon, good luck getting it up to the 3rd-story window without breaking a window on the way up, or at least getting it very slimy. And then you've got a large fish in your bedroom window. Speaking of a large fish, no, that's Joe Kelly over here. Is that English? He's not a large fish. He is actually a very lovely and wonderful gentleman who can answer any questions you might have and can bring you tasty, delicious beverages. He won't break your windows. Back to the Edgewater. So people were bringing in these large fish and didn't know what to do with them, so they got creative. They were flooding their bathtubs, putting a little table salt, and they were creating all of them. They were converting their toilet tanks into fish tanks. Either way, they ended up with a large dead fish, which they proceeded to hide in equally creative places, such as under the mattress, pillows, or even sometimes inside the wall between the tugboat. Yeah, housekeeping wasn't great, so needless to say, you can no longer fish from your bedroom windows here. However, it's still very originally built for a cannery, which is a lot heavier in a really cool Zen architectural style. And so this is the newest of the. It's coming up in 3. Another excellent place to check out. It's designed to essentially be a miniature Washington state. You've got Eastern Washington up at the top, the Cascades running through the middle, which is also where the railroad track is to those various regions are up for sunset. And if you're just a big fan of parks, as I am, you're in luck. You can continue along the waterfront for about another 1.25 miles. And this is Myrtle Edwards Park. You see so much greenery. We're right next to the heart of downtown Seattle. It is Gasworks Park. It's not visible from the saltwater. Dumps cruises go right by. If you do happen to go in person, though, get out of the rough and tumble reconstruction zone. So that's when they moved up this hillside to build their large clean-in style homes. Special events from time to time throughout the summer. Now, a newer addition next to the Space Needle is the EMP, or
Okay, to spend more time.
Yeah, because there's not enough time to do a lot of hiking on the island if you just do the regular cruise.
Right.
But if you come out for the full day, then you've got enough time. Well, coming up off of the port or left-hand side, mooring buoys. Now, California sea lions, these are all going to be, and then the rest of the males are kicked out, and so they find other places to kick, and this is one of their fear. Eventually, they just get tired. This is an excellent place to retire. And now that we're closer, feel free to bark at them. Sometimes it gets them barking back, which is always a lot of fun. They're not a true seal. The true seal that we have most commonly in this area is the harbor seal. They are gray and spotted and look a little bit like leopard seals, but they're smaller and much friendlier than that. Now, harbor seals can pull themselves out of the water once in a while, but like big furry sausages. They can kind of roll and float around a little bit, but really not that mobile. Whereas sea lions have an extra long split back fin and a flexible pelvic girdle that allows them to destroy the boat that we're on. And if they come through and come across even thicker ice, they can take advantage of their smoothly cutaway bow to ride up on top of that ice and break down through it using their own weight. Or outside as well, we've got a couple of western tugs that are fish factory boats. Are pretty cool because not only do they catch fish, but they also clean and process and freeze garbage fish that need to be thrown out because they've gone bad before they get home. Another major fleet of tugboats in the area, the Crowley fleet of red stack tugboats you can see off the starboard sides, including the Liberty, straight lines in any direction simultaneously. I don't know what they do about making the captain not get sick while doing that, but the boats can handle it just fine. And the Foss fleet, they're painted green and are literally kind of the green fleet because they are really leading the world and nice and close to our really busy, active part of the Port of Seattle, where you see a bunch of container terminals. That's where you see all those colorful readers, I should say, are very highly skilled. They can move each container in about 60 to 90 seconds apiece, which means a ship that is longer than the tallest building in the skyline is the tallest building in the skyline. People are often curious about that. That's off the port side right now, and that's the Columbia Tower. Originally designed to be even taller, over 1,000 feet tall. That didn't meet with FAA regulations for nearby Boeing fields, so the architect went back and he cut about 6 inches off of every floor above the parking garage, making this one of the shortest 76-story buildings that you will probably ever see. It's something, since we're looking over there off the port side, that you might be curious about is that beautiful Art Deco building with the blue-green glass, tan trim, little pyramid on top. It's the 1201 3rd Avenue building. It was designed by Con Peterson Fox, who came out to Seattle hoping to design our art museum. And he got this job instead, which is just across the street. He really poured his heart and soul into creating a building specifically for Seattle. Hence, the glass is the same color as Elliott Bay when the sunlight streams through it. It has extra corner offices, a public atrium, an entrance to the bus tunnel, and a lot of other really great features. So when it was first completed, Seattleites hated it. They hated this building. They said it was too New York. So it is still considered one of the nation's most beautiful high-rise buildings, and now it is Seattleites' favorite as well. So that's the 1201 3rd Avenue building. Now back to the container terminals. Now we've got a better, closer look at them. So highly skilled crane operators moves these all very quickly. Now that you can get a closer look, you can read that from the outside, you have no idea what's inside. And neither do the crane operators or the people on the theft could be an issue. People are less likely to break into containers if it's more of that variety pack. They don't know what they're getting. And B, they don't want to make the crane operators nervous rate in getting containers safely from point A to point B. But of course, every once in a while something goes a little bit wrong. And what's one of the ocean currents from those rubber duckies, because they ended up everywhere. They were world travelers, those cute little rubber duckies, and continue to be to this day. People are still finding these little rubber duckies washed up on beaches. So if you're ever beach coming, you see a rubber ducky, just do a little Starbucks in the Starbucks building. And then coming up ahead, we've got Field, or Clink. It's a little more diverse. It's home to the Seattle Seahawks football team and the Seattle Sounders football team. It also hosts a variety of concerts and, in my opinion, the stadium in the NFL. And this is a well-earned reputation. We've got a record number of false starts here, and they came to investigate us because we were during a normal game. Not that long ago, the University of Washington Geology Department registered a magnitude 2.1. Now, just behind these last 3 orange gantry cranes are going to be skyscrapers that have been built up since. Now, to get to the observation deck on the L.C. Smith Tower, you take an antique elevator ride complete with uniformed elevator operator. And on the 35th floor, it is also known as the China Room because it was decorated by the last Empress of China as a personal gift to Mr. L.C. Smith in honor of his new building to house all those newfangled typewriters. Now, the centerpiece of the China Room is known as the wishing chair. It's said that any single lady who sits in this chair and makes a wish that she will be happily married within the year. Which is why I try to stay quite far away from it. And they've got a binder up there full of wedding announcements, invitations, also Pioneer Square, where you'll find a lot of the oldest buildings here in Seattle. Because after the Denny family, which originally tried to settle out in West Seattle off to those seagulls, a rumor has it it's because he wasn't a fan of all of his neighbors, and so this was a way to get them soiling the docks a little bit. Now, sharing the same pier is ye old cool weather out here for you today, and I'm glad you were able to make it out with us. For those of you from out of town, I hope you enjoy the...
Oh, well, that certainly was a very nice round of applause for Cameron. She does do a fantastic job for here at Argosy Cruises. We make our final approach into Pier 55. We'll be back on the microphone at that time to let you know. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting the last of our lines onto the boat at this time. You're welcome to start making your way to the first deck for disembarking. If you do remember back to the boarding process, those photos that were taken of you have been developed into 5x7s. They'll be on display on the back of the ticket booth.